Oh, smell of rubber, hey.
The smell of new tires, hey.
Yeah. Very uncomfortable. This is back to the whole like 10 years thing where I've been asked questions again. I don't like this style. Anyway.
Right.
Hi!
So right, we're going to start at the start, which
Yeah.
I think is a good place to start. So.
Do you know what? Hey, did you go to school to learn that? Start at the start.
Aye, start at the start, finish
hello.
at the end.
GRASSMEN is 10 years in the go now, and I don't think we ever started at the start.
True.
Mistakes now, 'cause I don't wanna stay, wanna live my own life, wanna feel passion for something or someone that makes my world turn upside down, wanna give it up for something or someone that's better than this. So don't be too offended, I have to leave, there's not choice to make, it's my new rebellious way.
When or did this come into the fleet, and what stage of GRASSMEN's life was this introduced?
I think first and foremost the 47 was never a particular model that we have to have. It was a big old DEERE we wanted for the concept of trying to have the 3 tractors and the sort of infamous 2 legends and a donkey. So,
yeah, it was bought for that project.
Bought solely for that project, but it was one of those situations. I think we are going to way back. GRASSMEN is 2 years old, pretty much at the point when this tractor was bought, and it was a case of falling in love at first sight.
Why that series of DEERE? Not a 10 series or not a 00? Why that?
I think the concept that we were trying to get out there was that you don't need a modern style tractor to do a lot of work. You have to bear in mind we have to transform ourselves back to 2011 whenever this idea came into fruition. So you're almost 10 years ago at this stage when that idea was there. So 10 years from now, going back the way, your 10 series was too modern. Now it's not. Now it's not. Now this has moved from modern classic probably in those 10 years to a classic tractor now. In my head, maybe I'm wrong and some guys will identify. So it had to be the round cab, big old Yankee built DEERE to work into the time frame that was in our head. And we had a budget. And the 10 series didn't fit the budget at the time.
Since she's been in the fleet, talk us through how she has progressed and what work has been done. And
when she first came, she was extremely raw. She was on an old set of tires. She was very straight. She had the famous dent on the bonnet. She was stuck in 4-wheel drive, which we had to get sorted. And but well, that's the truth of it. And she very quickly got the number plate donkey put on it, which we've kept on, and it was pretty much, we were laughing and joking that she wasn't the fastest in the world. She was a bit lazy at the starting and all the rest of it, and it was very quickly associated with me. But whenever she was going, she sort of just kept on trundling along and kept. So this particular tractor and my character donkey very quickly got aligned, and I suppose you could argue, yeah. So she was raw. She was a little bit disappointing at the start, particularly on the horsepower side of things, but not on her performance. I mean, when we dynoed her 2 Legends and a donkey, she only was putting out 131 at the shaft, but she actually was a strong performer in that particular DVD, which really brought home to us at GRASSMEN, and I think to a lot of our audience watching, the difference between horsepower and torque.
Do you think if you had the extra 100 horses back then, it would have been different?
I'm glad now it hadn't, but at the time I was not happy. Like I was like a bull in a china shop. But I was equally impressed with how it performed. Like, and you know, on the buck rake and in just certain jobs, she just demonstrated what she was, just heavy, pig, ignorant sort of a tractor.
Like as you said, raw power.
And exactly,
That was what it was.
maybe hadn't that much, but it came through, and we could see that. We could see some of the challenges. Like, I mean, on that particular JF, she was making it hum the very best, but for the challenges, she was probably, if she'd have had the 100 more horsepower, I don't think we would be talking about the case at all, being the Magnum being number one.
That's
But
a big
she hadn't,
statement.
and she held up with the Magnum. And I mean, I have a wee thing for the Magnum as well. I think it's very important to say that, but she's different now. She's got the horsepower now. She's got the torque. And part of our plan at GRASSMEN with all of the tractors, and I suppose it comes back to you guys, the viewers, we like to take them. We can't do them all in the one go. We have an absolutely fantastic paint man, Johnny Blakely, and you know, slowly but surely we want to try and go through the fleet as we can. We try to buy good straight tractors. We have learnt the lesson with buying what we think are tractors that are done up. We will come on to that maybe at some point. So we decided we were going to start this process, bring all of you guys, the fans, with us on the journey. And that's exactly what we did with this tractor here. And that's why I label this tractor as close to perfect as I think we can get in my eyes.
Yeah, but she's not totally original anymore. Is that fair to say? Like, she has been brought into the modern era to a degree.
She's not totally original, but nothing has been added to her to deflate her value, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, we have went to the AF tyre route.
Yeah, like them didn't exist.
They didn't exist whenever that tractor was born, so we kept the centres. We went to Agri Gear, who are magicians when it comes to this sort of thing, and we got our wheel centres done, and we got AF BKTs. We went for the AF BKT because we really like the look of them. I think that there's this lovely square look. The lugs, if you look at all the science, they talk about width of lugs and depth of lugs. It all seems to work. We can get the ground pressure down, and I don't care what anyone says. And I mean, I'm a John Deere man through and through, but when this went up against the 250R at Alec Wilkinson's, has to go down as one of the proudest days of my life, because this old girl, we could actually see there was no tyre scrub at all with her on the footage. And the big new 250R was just, she was working. She had more power.
Yeah.
She was ahead. But this old girl here was really just proved to us that day that that old girl could come into the modern world. Yes, the other thing, Gary, the massive thing is Trimble came on board with us in this project, and they've kitted out this tractor with a full GPS, auto steer, ISO bus, Absolutely everything is on this tractor. The only thing it cannot do is physically lift an implement, and that's only because it's manual spool valves. If we were on an electric spool valve situation, which wasn't that far in the making after that, she would be able to do everything. She can turn herself and do absolutely, and proved that time and time again. So the paint work, I mean, the attention to detail, the work that young Johnny put into that, it's just fantastic. So she's an absolute firm favourite of mine. She's the bouncy John Deere, as my wee man calls her, and that's exactly what she is. When you drive her, she feels comfortable, but she's constantly just bouncing with a long wheelbase.
I was going to ask you your best moment with the tractor, but I think you've covered that maybe with Alec.
Alec Wilkinson's doing what it was meant to do, watching it hunker down. I mean, just boom, just going. That was just...
She was at home.
Worst moment?
A few of them.
I think the worst moment has to be probably when she broke down in the port at the end of filming Two Legends and a Donkey. It was just a...
Bit of a downer.
That was a bit of a downer, because I thought the old girl had done so well, and I had dished out so much abuse to Jimmy that I probably deserved it. And I knew it was coming. I knew something was the oil I could smell, and going down that prom, Jimmy and Mike were just totally in love with life, and I'm like forcing it, going, I know this thing's about to calve.
There's a funny story regarding it being collected that I don't think many people knows about. You want to share that?
Involved a night at the guard station. This tractor was lifted, and I should say all above board, but all above board. And I was down, and I happened to ring local haulage man, Sammy Fry. If there's any man who does anything with lorries, they'll know who Sammy Fry is, Fry Transport. I mean, you did bits for him yourself back in the day. I did bits for him through Blair International back in the day, and I happened to ring him. Hey boy, anybody down this way? And it just happened to be he the man down there, and ideally looking something home. And I was like, look, I have a tractor, actually 2 tractors. I says down here to come up the road, and before I had left, doing the deal and sorting all out with the guy, the dealer, he had arrived and I helped him on. And of course, he had to stop for a bit of a break, one thing and another, and away I was up the road like a scalded cat with a car and all the paperwork. So the guards pulled him, looking to know who the tractors were and what they were doing and one thing and another. And couldn't get me. Nobody could be got that night. My phone wasn't connecting. The dealer guy couldn't be got till the morning, and the guards parked him up.
So she spent the night in jail?
He had to spend the night. Well, I think he got to lie in the lorry. I don't know how that all panned out. Not say what Sammy Fry said when he rung me, but he had to spend the night there until they could prove that the tractors were legitimate, you know. But not a bad thing, actually, in hindsight. You know, it's a good thing, but so she got into trouble with the police. Not her first time. The blue lights had been round her.
Right, well I think that rounds up the 47.
Yeah, just genuinely hand in my heart, just something about her. Love her. She's not a 9. I'd love her to be a 9, but not now. I mean, it's that wee thing. You want the big in the series. Everybody wants the 49, 55 wide step, but not now. She's. I hope she's here forever. And it'll be a sad day when she has to go, if she ever has to go.